This new moon might be feeling really medicine woman, earthy, feminine. This new moon might also be showing up as old order versus new order, and a couple of last little revelations around where we're still holding on to the old. I know, we've been talking about that forever, but I'll talk about why that is. Also, this is the start to eclipse season. Yeah, it's pretty pivotal. It's pretty big. We are about to get lit up. September, October are going to be big months of transformation. It's going to move through into November too. So September, October, November, a lot of transformation. A lot of transformation that's going to be showing up in our physical lives. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Reality as we know it is about to disappear, to recreate itself. So let's talk about the transits that are happening for this particular new moon. There's a couple of bigger cycles that we're in, so I'll talk to that too. And we could get really lost in this. So also just know that this is Virgo. It's Virgo season. It's detail oriented. It's very nitpicky. It's very perfectionist. Virgo is also the home of Mercury. And so it's very mercurial, like the mind wants to really dig in and figure things out. Here's something that I shared in the last week ahead astrology video, and it was around something that can really guide us through this moment in time is our feminine intuition. Virgo is the sign of the earth priestess. So it's Virgo season. This new moon is happening in Virgo. This new moon is conjunct Medusa. This really points toward the wisdom in us at the moment can really come from deep feminine intuition. Mercury, while he has gone direct, he's still in the final stage of his retrograde. Mercury points to the mind. Mercury is getting insights now. He's translating it still, but he's still in Leo. So until Mercury gets to Virgo, the mind, logical, rational, reasonable, might not be the best thing to lean into. Of course, you feel for you. It could be very different for you, but just something to maybe feel into, experiment with, is what is my deep feminine intuition saying? And I'm not saying feminine woman. We all have deep feminine intuition. But when I say feminine intuition, it's like my feminine intuition. And if we were to point to the feminine, it's like the ground of being, like feminine intuition. It's that she's connected to the interconnectedness of the all of everything. Feminine intuition is like diffuse awareness. We're taking in information from all over the place. And it's not just from the five senses. It's not something I can see, hear, taste, touch, or smell. It's something that I'm feeling on a deeper level. And I don't even know if I could put words to it, but it's just a feel. It's an intuition. This is something that can really get us through this kind of first part of September. Partially because it's Virgo season, like I mentioned. Medusa is conjunct Virgo. We have a lot of feminine energy on the south node at the moment. We have Venus conjunct, I want to make sure I get this right first. Venus conjunct Black Moon on the south node. I like this. I like it. It's deep, sacred feminine. On a karmic point, on that like soul's journey line, south node, north node, that's destiny, that's fate. This is also pointing to what's coming in eclipse season. First eclipse is September 17th. This is the new moon cycle. This is the new moon that kicks off eclipse season. We are now, as of this new moon, officially in Eclipse Portal. In eclipse energy. Eclipses are all about the nodes of fate. Eclipses are all about the north node, south node. It's because they got closer to the moon. Like they're now in a point where they are very lit up. What does that mean? That means your true north is really lit up. True north, what is that? Soul's purposes in this life. The deep inner alignment. Tapping into that which really genuinely truly fulfills you. Joseph Campbell, follow your bliss. True north. What is my true north? What am I here for? What is the meaning of life? What is it that is fulfilling? What is it that is meaningful to me? That's what eclipse seasons are about. Isn't that beautiful? Also a lot about breaking through. A lot about breaking through. A lot about dropping karmic baggage, right? South node, dropping karmic baggage. Dropping karmic baggage to propel us into greater potentials in this life. Also, sorry to keep going on and on about this, but this really truly marks and flavors, this new moon flavors the whole of the eclipse season. The whole of the eclipse season. So there's 2 eclipses, September 17th and then October 2nd, 3rd, right? But it goes for, like 2 weeks before that first eclipse. Then there's 2 weeks in between that next eclipse. And then there's 2 weeks after that eclipse, right? So we're in it. We're in it. And it's being flavored by this. So get this. The South Node has Black Moon and Venus on the South Node. This is like the feminine intuition, right? The feminine, the deep sacred feminine, the wisdom of the feminine, wanting to drop the karma, wanting to heal the past. That's the South Node, wanting to heal the past, wanting to release the past, wanting to let go of old hurts, old wounds, to do with the heart, Venus, so that we can be propelled into our highest potentials. Feminine just so happens to be the key right now, right? Feminine practices can be very supportive. Feminine intuition practices can be very supportive. Body wisdom activation type stuff can be very supportive. Diving into feminine archetypal energies, activating feminine archetypal energies, especially the ones that are loud in the astrology. You know where we're going to do a lot of this stuff? For free is the ReWilding challenge. So if you're sitting there and you're like, okay, this sounds great, Sabrina. Love this. How do I do it? Join the challenge. It's free. It's free. We're doing a challenge right before this first eclipse. Kind of doing a challenge to honor eclipse season and to hold this all in eclipse season and open up this true north path, also to open up to more feminine magic, more feminine wisdom, more of these like feminine archetypal energies that I was just sharing with you, to give us access to deeper wisdom, deeper intuition. Like, how do we listen to that deep feminine intuition? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? How can that guide me forward? What's like the mysteries that are held in this space? We're going to do that in the challenge. I would love for you to join us. It's totally free. Everyone who identifies as human, even a little bit human, is welcome to join us in the challenge. So this is like our 85th ReWilding challenge. We do them because it's our way of loving forward, paying back, sharing a ton of gratitude with our community, and just kind of like blowing up the world. I mean, let's be really fucking honest about this. I love ripple affecting a lot of love out into the world, and a lot of like deep transformation, and a lot of like miraculous healing, awakening, shifting, altering, whatever happens during these ReWilding Your Life challenges. So to me, it's also a way where we just get to come together. We get to do like big, beautiful, wild awakening shit that heals a lot of shit, alters a lot of shit. And we're going to do it this time during this Eclipse Portal. So mark your calendars for September 13th to the 15th. Make sure you reserve your seat. I can't get you in the door if I don't have a way to send you the links to get through the door. So you just have to enter name and email address. Again, you can invite everyone who identifies even a little bit as human is welcome to join us. Probably want to be 18 because we're going for it. We always go for it in challenges, but this one feels a little extra potent because of the timing, because of that eclipse timing. Okay, so go grab your seat. We start the 13th, and then that's it. This is a brand new challenge. It happens live 2 hours a day for 3 days. It's a big, deep, wild fucking journey. All right, enough. Let's come back to this astrology. So let's talk a little bit more about some of the bigger cycles that are going on, that are happening also on this new moon, outside of it being the start of eclipse season. Uranus, radical revolutionary, is stationing retrograde. Okay, what is that doing? That is surprises. It's shock and awe. The fact that he's stationing on a new moon, it's really pointing to the new and into the new and get into the new. And there's new ways of doing this, right? Innovation. I like that word for Uranus. Innovation also has to do with spiritual awakening. Also has to do with Shakti, with Kundalini Awakening, spiritual awakening, radical, rapid awakening, right? From like high voltage, it's like lightning bolt stuff coming in. Now, the fact that he's stationing just means he's a lot louder. So he's really loud in the astrology. The other thing with Uranus, I want to keep talking about him for a quick second. He's conjunct Mary Magdalene. So you want to talk about Kundalini Awakening, right? Think about Kundalini Awakening in the flavor of Mary Magdalene. So a Shakti awakening, a divine feminine awakening in the flavor of Mary Magdalene. So you have like lightning bolt, radical revolutionary energy behind the love of Mary Magdalene. That's pretty beautiful. Like they're 1 degree off. Mary Magdalene is conjunct Uranus for this new moon. Now, opposing them is Pallas Athena, feminine warrior. So opposing Uranus, Mary Magdalene, who Uranus is just really wanting to wake up the heart and the love of Mary Magdalene, like that feminine mystery of loving in that way, radiance. Mary Magdalene points to radiance, to loving, right? To loving in ways that human, it's not human love, it's higher level love, 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 but very embodied, very embodied. It's like bringing that in and experiencing that through the body. Yeah, kind of love that. Opposing Pallas Athena, warrior goddess. So to fight for it, right? You've got a warrior goddess on your side to help fight for the awakening of love, the awakening of greater levels of love. This is crazy powerful and crazy potent. I would design a journey into that for yourself. If that is singing to you in any way, shape, or form, dive into those archetypal energies like I shared. If you don't know how to do that, join the challenge. We'll get you in there. Some of you are already doing Mary Magdalene archetypal work with us, Pallas Athena work with us. Dive into those workshops if you have them. If you don't, again, get into the challenge because we're going to do it there. And it's free, which is amazing. Okay, so Pallas Athena is also, not only is it her as feminine warrior. Sorry, I need to keep looking over because there's so many things going on in the astrology chart. So every time I look over here, I'm just looking at the chart. Pallas Athena is conjunct Kali. Yeah, dark goddess, ego slayer. She's the dark goddess who wants to slay the ego. She will liberate you. Spiritual liberation, liberating you into true self. And she doesn't care how many heads she has to take off to get you there. She does it as in your own heads that she has to take off. She doesn't care how much ego stripping she has to do to get you to your true self. Stunning. So she's fighting for that love, right? That radical revolutionary love, Mary Magdalene, Uranus energy. And then on the other side of Pallas Athena, we have Lilith, the Lilith asteroid. Yep. So we got I like this flavor of Lilith for this moment and where she's at right now with Pallas Athena. We've got wild woman. Lilith represents wild woman, like unabandoned, unbound, limitless, wild woman, right? Like just wild, raw energy, like primal, wild, raw energy with no judgments, no limits, no whatever. So this enormous amount of life force, right? And they're all like those three, Pallas Athena, Kali, and Lilith asteroid, they're opposing Uranus, who's stationing. Yeah, stationing, so he's loud, and conjunct Mary Magdalene. Y'all, this is amazingly feminine. This is feminine awakening. It is feminine. It is like, I am woman, hear me roar. But here's how it's going to turn out for some of us. Some of us, it's going to be very purifying. Some of us, in order to like step into the feminine mysteries and embody more and more of the feminine, right? It's very purifying. I oftentimes talk about different archetypal energies as being 3 stages: dormant, distorted, divine. Dormant, distorted, divine. And that distorted part is where there's a purifying happening, where, let's say, Lilith wakes up in you, right? Let's say she was a dormant force in you, just as like a sacred energy in you, or an aspect of self that you kind of hid because you were afraid of the wild woman. Like you were afraid that she was going to go like, fuck the neighbor, or she was going to go, tell her boss off and lose her job, because she just doesn't have a lot of respect for social norms. But here's the deal. When she kind of wakes up, she's in that like wicked, destructive, like, I oftentimes say that's the stage when a woman gets divorced, right? Married, trying to fit in this box of like good wife, wifey poo, white picket fence, 2.5 cars, whatever. And then the divorce happens and then moves from dormant Lilith to distorted Lilith. Like, all right, I'm going on a rampage. I'm going on a bender. I'm going to do whatever I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want. That's stage 2 Lilith, right? So she's awoken to more of her power, right? More of her juice, her joie de vivre, her shakti, her sacred energy, but it's all kinked up. It's all kinked up. We've got a lot of like, resentments or like wounds or old karmas getting in the way. And so that energy, which is sacred, it's pure, it's love, it's pure divine energy. It's just coming out a little twisted or a little crooked with not the best intentions. But then working with it consciously, right? Working with like archetypal embodiment. Again, we're going to do that in the challenge. So if you're like, what the fuck's archetypal embodiment, Sabrina? Join the challenge. I'm guessing we might work with Lilith. Who knows? We'll see. I'm not promising that, but it's interesting. I'm talking so much about her. So she, when you work with her, right, moves through into high level, 3rd stage expression, divine expression of Lilith, where you're wild, woman. That means you've got access to your inner fire, your sexuality, like the fullness of it, which also contains your life force. It contains fountain of youth is also in there, right? Like all that stuff. Creativity is in there. Capacity to make money. Orgasms is it in there, right? All that's woken up. And now it's moved up and it's expressed from this in the highest good of the all of everything. So my wild woman, right? All the fullness of my sexuality is in alignment with the highest good of the all of everything. That's a force to be reckoned with, right? That is a force to be reckoned with. You got Lilith, you got Kali moving through you, you got Mary Magdalene, you got Pallas Athena moving through you from a 3rd stage in the highest good of the all of everything, which includes your highest good. Because if it's in your highest good, it's in the highest good of the all of everything. Genuinely. It's just that we mostly haven't done a lot of practices where we actually genuinely, authentically, deeply, truly get to the highest good, right? Our highest good. We don't typically tap into that. There's just goo in the way, there's just like rubble in the line is what I like to say, like here's the big river, like the big river of life force. And there's just like rocks and rubble in the way. And so that's like the purifying, that's like the moving the rocks out. So this will be a time for that. This new moon, this whole cycle, this eclipse season, it will be a time for that. Virgo season makes it a very, very purifying time. Virgo, this is part of the reason why I keep diving into this purifying, coming up to a stage 3, coming higher up into a divine expression. Virgo is the sign of the earth priestess. Virgo wants everything to be expressed at that divine level, that high level. Let me move grace, light, love, high voltage through my sexuality. Let me move high voltage grace, love through my parenting. Let me move high voltage grace, love through the way I manage the boardroom meeting. Let me move. That's Virgo. She wants to ground in high voltage grace, love, bring it through our bodies and into our work in the world. Virgo, work in the world, daily work in the world, routine, self-care, body-based, earth-based. That's Virgo. This is a Virgo new moon. It's Virgo season. It's stunning. Can feel detoxy though. Can demand us up-leveling our health routines. What is it that would support you to live a little bit higher of a vibration? Just keep it real simple. You were going to live a little bit higher level of vibration. You were just going to be a little healthier, like a little more radiant, a little more vibrant. Those people, they're just really vibrant. Like they're vibrant. And just feel into that for yourself. You're alive, vibrant, like wellness is just oozing out of you. What would it be that you would make adjustments to give you more radiance, to give you more aliveness, to give you like more brightness shines out of you? Does your diet change a little bit? I mean, this is all Virgo stuff. It's like little shifts in daily routines, little shifts in our health, little shifts in our self-care, little shifts in like I meditate every day. Multiple times a day I meditate. That's part of my wellness, my self-care. It's part of my radiance care. It's part of like my love. It's part of, it's essential. It's essential. It's not even like a nice to have anymore. It's like essential. It's like drinking water to me. It's essential for me. But feeling into, for you, what is this new moon, new cycle, new chapter, new beginning that you would implement to up your capacity to vibrate higher? Like just more love moves through you, higher level love moves through you, right? Mary Magdalene conjunct Uranus, opposing all those beautiful dark goddess energies with Pallas Athena, warrior, in the sign of Virgo. So another aspect around this that I want to share is in Virgo, this new moon, right, is conjunct Medusa. Yeah, that adds in even more of this feminine that we're talking about. So now it adds in a flavor of like medicine woman. So Medusa's medicine woman, dark goddess. It adds in a flavor of like deeper feminine mysteries. Medusa also adds in a flavor of sexuality, wildness. Medusa could be sitting in the wild woman category with Lilith, right? And in the sacred sexuality category, like free, liberated sexuality. I'm sexually liberated. I'm tapped into my life force. Tapped into my life force. Virgo wants us to be tapped into our life force, wants us to be so alive, so alive. Virgo is a very fertile energy. It's fertile ground. So the seeds we plant during this new moon, very fertile. Plant some seeds. Plant some seeds, right? Those intentions, those seeds. Start new things, start new projects, start thinking in new ways, start new daily routines. We're really, really supported to do that. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit. And I really want to talk about this other like bigger aspect that's going on is on the day of the new moon, the 2nd, right? We talked about Uranus's stationing. We already discussed all that. That's the new, right? The new, radical revolutionary, into the new, into the new, into the new. Here's the old. You ready for it? This is weird. It's really weird, this new moon. This whole eclipse cycle is going to be weird. September, October, November is going to be weird. So on the day of this new moon, Pluto goes from Aquarius, the new. He's in Aquarius at 0 degrees. The new moves back into Capricorn, the old order. This is his final swipe. He's been dancing back and forth. Aquarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Capricorn. Every astrologer has been talking about this. Everyone has been talking about this for months and months and months and months and months and months because it's a long time coming. Pluto represents deep change, deep transformation, and power, right? Death for rebirth. That's Pluto. It's that deep of change. That's why we're talking about it. So now here's the deal. Last swipe. He's moving on this new moon into the old order. Oh my God. Like, I just want to pull my hair out. I want to throw up. Of course, it's beautiful. And of course, it's perfect. And of course, we get to kind of straddle the new and the old still. We get to really feel into this, like new earth, old earth, new structures, new foundations, new collaborative ways. Aquarius, old power structures, old collapsing foundations, new order versus old order. So that's coming up. It's coming up. So here's a couple of other dates that I want to share with you around Pluto. So on the 2nd, Pluto goes into Capricorn for the final time, right? Final time, because he's retrograde, right? He's retrograde. He's been retrograde for a while. On October 12th, remember, when a planet stations, they're more powerful. So on October 12th, Pluto stations direct. Still in Capricorn. But that's just something to maybe mark or pay a little attention to. Then November 19th is when Pluto moves into Aquarius for good and is there for the next 20 years. It's going to be an interesting couple of months because it is deep transformation. It is a death for a rebirth kind of a transformation. So we'll see. We'll see. So Capricorn is very Saturnian. Capricorn is like the old boys club. Capricorn is work hard, get paid for that. Like work hard, one foot up the hill, a lot of soloness to Capricorn, a lot of karmic life lessons in Capricorn. It's also just a real like father energy, like a father masculine type of energy. And that's where Pluto said the power was at. So Pluto in Capricorn says this is where the power's at. It's in the masculine. The power is in working hard, kind of like solo by yourself, disciplined, right? One step in front of the other, the mountain goat climbing up the mountain. That's where Pluto was saying this is where power is at. Also where, let me feel. We'll keep it at that. The deep under, he's the lord of the underworld, right? So he holds that power that's in the underworld, in the unconscious, and it's an enormous amount of power in there, right? Like it's the greatest power is in those territories. So now he's saying that this is shifting come November 19th for the final time. This is shifting to Aquarius. So Aquarius is like the new. It's the new. So now the power is in the new. The power is in things like AI. That's really what Pluto's saying. Here, we're going to shift the power. Here's where the power is at. It's in the new. It's in new technology. I know some of us are not going to like this at all. It's also community-based. Aquarius is community-based. It's kind of detached, right? It's a little bit detached from physical grounded reality. That was Capricorn, physical grounded reality. Saturn, physical grounded reality. Pluto moving into Aquarius. It's a little bit detached. It's a little bit more out there. It's not physical grounded reality. It's like the shit you can't see, right? It's all of this like metaverse stuff we're creating and cryptocurrencies we're creating and things like that. So this is going to be interesting, but know that it's a 20-year cycle. It's a 20-year cycle. It's just going to be interesting what happens over these next couple of months as that final swoop takes place. That final swoop through Capricorn takes place. It's an anaretic degree. 29 degree is the anaretic degree. And there's oftentimes a lot of shadow that comes up there. A lot of shadow around power. So watch out for that. All right, that was a little bit of a long-winded thing, but I have a deep, deep love for Pluto because it's a soul point. It's also a soul point. Like, so for us personally, if you want to look at soul points in your chart, you want to look at Pluto. It's an evolutionary soul point. It points to what your soul purpose path is in this life, as does nodes of fate, right? We talked about that for eclipse season. So this is going to be a soulful time. It really is a very soulful time, pointing to deeper alignment, aligning with something deeper, deeper purpose, deeper meaning. And think about that from a feminine standpoint too. So not just like masculine purpose, you know, but think about that from like a deeper feminine standpoint of like, what is it that fills my heart? What is it that fills my heart? What is it that my heart longs for in this life? That's a big part of what this eclipse season will be about. It's a big part of what this new moon will be about because of all this feminine energy going on. All right, let's keep going. My goodness, this might be a really long episode, but let's see. I've got a couple more things that I want to share with us. Let's talk about opposing Saturn. So this new moon is opposing Saturn, opposite Saturn. That's more around this new order versus old order. New moon, that's new. We've talked about Uranus. We've talked about Virgo wanting to like bring it in, wanting to earth it in. We've talked about Pluto moving into Aquarius come November. There's a lot of this new versus old still. Saturn is opposing the new moon. So we might feel like a push-pull. We might feel expansion, contraction. Saturn can feel like contraction. Saturn can feel like holding you back. Saturn can feel like stuck. Here's something that's coming to mind. Do your Saturn work. Do your Saturn work. Your Saturn work is like karma. It's like the karmic work. And that's part of the breakthrough sometimes, right? Is really working with. So you can look at Saturn from a high level standpoint as Gandalf, Mr. Miyagi, giving you the life lessons you need. So it's not one to fight because we're going to lose every time. It's one to go, what are you teaching me? Saturn? What are you teaching me? The thing that just stopped me, what is it showing me? Like, I just got poison oak all over myself, all over. Like, I have it on my face. I don't know if you can see it. If my face looks swollen to you, it's because I have poison oak all over my face, my neck, both my arms, both my legs. And I'm like, it's interesting. Is there something here? And not everything, of course, that happens in our physical world can we really like get lessons from or get learnings from, but this was one when I sat with it. I was like, oh yeah, this is a good little Saturnian lesson for me. Yeah. Anyways, working with the archetypes helps to understand this so much. And again, if you're like, I don't understand this working with the archetype shit, Sabrina, do the challenge. Join the ReWilding challenge. We're going to do it. And you don't have to know anything about anything. It's rewilding your life. It's the breakthrough experience, right? It's 3 days of just really amazing stuff. And I'd love to share it with you. It's what I actually do. It's what rewilding is actually founded on. These astrology conversations are not even what I actually do. they're a part of what I do, but they're not like the thing that I am here to do, right? Like we were talking about soul purpose. What is your soul purpose? You know, this eclipse season, North Node, true North, what is your destiny? Like this is the thing, right? All these other things, of course, like help point to it. But I would love to share this thing with you that is really about deep transformation, deep awakening, breaking through. All right. Enough about that. You'll find details below to sign up for the challenge, but go do it now so you don't forget. We oftentimes forget about these things. Go do it now. Pause the video. Go do it now. Go send it to like 5 of your besties because it's going to be way more fun to do a crazy breakthrough challenge, rewilding your life challenge with someone else. And then at the end of it, you can drink a glass of wine and go like, what the fuck was that? Sally, did you do that? Did you see what the fuck was that? Right? All right. Let's talk a little bit more. Saturn squaring Jupiter. Yep. So Saturn's opposing this new moon. He's at 16 degrees. New moon is at 11 degrees, opposing it, squaring Jupiter. Jupiter's at 19 degrees in a square to Saturn. Again, that's just more of this new order versus old order. Jupiter's expansion, Saturn's contraction. It's interesting. It's really interesting. Okay, so we've got that going on. There's also, let me think about this. What else do I want to share here? There's so much happening. Let me just see. I do think I want to mention Neptune squaring Mars. Yeah, they're only a degree off. So Neptune is in a square to Mars. And what does that mean? Mars, god of war. Mars in us, sometimes I say god of war and we just like switch off. But Mars in us is our warrior. It's our action-oriented, make something happen. What am I going to fight for today? What am I going to make happen today? That's our Mars, our go-getter, right? Is in a square to Neptune. Neptune is the mystic. Neptune is like the planet of illusion. The planet of all is one. The planet of higher love. There's nothing to do. We just be. We just are. So this can create some very interesting dynamics with wanting to get stuff done. Partially, this is why I'm saying deep feminine intuition is powerful. Because Mars is kind of going to be on drugs for a little bit. Like the way of manifesting through like action, making stuff happen. He's like off smoking pot, doing, I don't know what he's doing, right? He's just gone. He's gone. He's in la la land. But the feminine is in a lot of points to make things happen. Like feminine magnetism. If you haven't listened to the week ahead astrology for August 26th, I talk about feminine magnetism and how to tap into manifesting via the deep feminine principles. So we'll put a link up here and down below if you want to go check that out. You can just skip to that part of the video if you don't want to watch the whole thing. But feminine magnetism, very, very powerful during this new moon. So activating that deep heart longing, and you call things to you. So it's like the do without doing. You're making things happen, but not via the action-oriented warrior. It's via deep feminine magnetism, feminine radiance, feminine allurement. And this doesn't just have to do with like sexual attraction at all. Like that's 1% of what feminine magnetism actually has the power and the capacity to do. So that's very much on offer. Really good practices for that. If you want to practice to dive into, this would be our best workshop for this particular new moon. It would be body wisdom activation. Body wisdom activation. You tap into the deep feminine intuition. You activate, right, that wisdom within that is connected to deep feminine intuition. So that would be the thing that I would say activates things the most. So that workshop, it's $47, not a big deal. And then listening to a little bit, that little section in the week ahead astrology, if you really want to work on that feminine longing, feminine magnetism, and join the challenge. Because I know we'll work with feminine archetypal energies directly to activate that skill, that gift, that capacity in ourselves in the challenge. So again, that's on offer. Okay. I think that's it. This new moon also has a little bit of Eris energy in it, goddess of chaos and discord. So we can kind of expect some bumps and things like that going on. Uranus is square Mercury. Remember, Mercury is still a little bit wonky. He's in the final stage of his retrograde. So he is direct, but he's in that final stage, a little bit wonky. He's square Uranus. We already talked about Uranus. That's radical revolutionary. That's the Kundalini Awakening. So he's also going to throw Mercury off a little bit. So just know the mind can be a little bit like, wah! Again, lean into deep feminine intuition for guidance or direction forward. All signs during this new moon, days around it, point to leaning into deep feminine intuition for path forward. Okay, that's it for me. My gosh, it's amazing to be here with you. Happy new moon to you all. Happy start to eclipse season. Happy rewilding your life. If you join the challenge, I would love to see you there. We just did a circle. Depending on when you see this, we have a membership circle on the 1st that is always in alignment with the current energy. We're working with power in this one. That I do know. We're working with power, Pluto power. It's going to be beautiful. My sense is that we'll work directly. This is also where you can do archetypal embodiment with me, is we'll work directly with that Pluto and the power piece. What does that mean for us uniquely, right? Because if power is shifting, well, fuck, I want to tap into that, right? Like I want to tap into the new order and I want to get my stuff sorted out and get my stuff straight so that I can tap into it. So I don't end up disempowering myself or shutting down, so that I can light up in like a new way. Let me just do it very consciously and let me do it really quickly. So that's my sense that we're going to work with that power piece. And of course, Uranus is going to fuel a lot of that, and the deep feminine will fuel a lot of that. But it's really about power and our own empowerment, where we give away our power, how we can align to a deeper, truer sense of power. Yeah, that's what we're working on in membership. So that's always available. $59. You get a whole month of access. Also, I'll be doing Eclipse deep dives in membership. That only happens in membership. So Eclipse deep dives, those will be in there this month. If you join like this month, you will get the September Eclipse deep dive. That's coming your way. Okay. That's enough. I love you all. I would love to see you in the comments if that feels right for you. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you don't want to miss something in the future. Pass it forward if that feels good. Just super grateful for everything you all do for us, for being here. I wouldn't be here without you. So thank you all so much, and just a ton of love to you.